This is a clouds weather alert.
Good late Thursday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here with a severe weather alert for parts of Duval County now until 5 o'clock. Seeing some really strong wind in here on this storm. Already with another storm passing through. The next level warning on it. We got a gust of 66 miles an hour there around Mayport. And this one just had a report of a gust here to 58 miles an hour toward the Jacksonville area there, about 4 miles southwest of Fort Caroline. We're talking about Craigfield, gust to about 58 miles an hour or so. So trying to give you guys the information right now as it does come on out, as we have some really strong winds. And let's go ahead and zoom in to street level map, and some strong winds, maybe to about 60 miles an hour or so possible there. It looks like as we get down really tight. I zoom in toward some of these streets. We're talking maybe San Pablo Road here, some 60-mile-an-hour wind gust possibility, and this is moving right toward the beaches. You can see the latest scan now getting closer toward Atlantic Beach. We're talking about winds that could be close to about 60 miles an hour or so. So trying to give you guys that latest update here, trying to co-locate things with the actual radar signatures here and the velocity signatures. Maybe some stronger wind right there as we get on in here. Looks like around West 14th Orchard Street there, popping on up. You can see seeing maybe some of this accent toward the south with this wind out ahead of things as well. But where the warning is right now is for parts of Duval County, east central Duval County till 5. It's really this easternmost part of this warning here. The storm is really starting to look a little more potent there around Craigfield and their UNF. It's moving east at 35 miles an hour. Could have some hail damage to vehicles as well, in addition to the wind threat here. Neptune Beach, Fort Caroline, Craigfield, some of those locations included in the warning here overall and within this polygon. So we want to jump on here real quick with this because we had some high confidence of that wind damage potential tracking on off toward the east here, since we just had a report on this storm as the warning was being issued there toward the Craigfield area. So I already had a report to 66 a little while ago at the Mayport Naval Air Station, not necessarily seeing that within the radar signatures as well. So that's why a warning wasn't issued, and there also was a report of some hail up toward areas there just in toward Camden County a bit earlier as well. It is not able to be seen from the radar. Had a storm in St. Johns County that did have a warning earlier, hail there, just under severe limits, but it's just sometimes an odd environment to really be able to pick out stuff on the radar here. It's an unusual situation. We don't generally get the storms to kind of refire like this. I know we were talking about this threat maybe earlier on today, lingering around, and it's an unusual situation here overall. We're generally not having to look for stuff like this here in this environment, but we do have some of these stronger winds right around Atlantic Beach right now. We have some more action. And I'm looking down toward the south and west because it seems like we want to have some more storminess try to get going here toward, it looks like, State Highway 13 and re-enter toward that warning area. We'll have to see if any new warnings are required. But some of this higher reflectivity value action is right around, it looks like, Pinta Drive there, getting over toward Cypress Landing Drive, over toward Oceanside Drive here as well. So some stronger wind gusts causing some issues. I know that other storm that kind of popped up on us here earlier on, about 4 o'clock or so, did knock a large tree down. It looks like we're just getting this report into the chat along Fort Caroline Road near the intersection of Harbor Cove Drive south there. So let me go ahead and back up the radar a little bit. We'll kind of see what we were talking about earlier. We had that gust come on through here toward the north. You'll be able to kind of see it here. This was around 4 o'clock or so, 4:05. You can kind of see here that icon popping up. The velocities weren't all that impressive, but then toward the south here, these velocities really got impressive quick on this area as it was moving away from the downtown. All of a sudden, we had that report in. The next scan, it really popped up. So right then, when I saw that scan, we hadn't had the report in yet, and we just started to go ahead and get everything ready to go on the air immediately because of that velocity signature there, where we had winds going up over about 59 miles an hour around, it looks like, Briar Creek Road there, about 4:35, right when this warning was issued. We've seen that break up a little bit, but we're still not sure if it's broken up enough. Still could have some stronger wind there on Atlantic Beach maybe right about now. Still got to keep that in mind here with these winds. You have the lightning around too, still firing up. here in toward this area. As we go ahead and zoom back on out here, you don't see too much other action we're dealing with. We're really not seeing much at all, so that's good news, obviously, as we kind of get this one out of the picture, because we're starting to kind of see those wind shift direction as we get past some of this action even, so that's good news. But we're seeing those lower dew point values here a little bit further off toward the west. So I'll see these are the dew point values. If you're wondering what we're looking at here, you kind of see the wind starting to try to sift around a little bit. But we right now still have this threat, this isolated threat here for some severe weather right around some highly populated areas. So you see the temperature there in the Naval Air Station. It was 81 degrees a little while ago. That's indicative of the nature of things. We just got a new warning, actually. A new warning now until 5:15. They don't want to take any chances because these storms just have a tendency to want to have severe parameters with them here, right in the metro, right around rush hour. So I think this is the right call here, folks, to issue a new warning for parts of Duval County now until about 5:15. This is for southeastern Duval County, near Bay Meadows there, near Arlington, moving east at 35 miles an hour. I'll go ahead and get back over to other mode now. Again, let me go ahead and pop this on up so you'll be able to see a little bit tighter what we're dealing with this storm right near the interstate. So I might go ahead and try to pull up some traffic cameras again. We have plenty of those traffic cameras here in Duval County, but this is right near I-95 there, right during rush hour. Severe thunderstorm located near Bay Meadows or near Arlington, moving east at 35. UNF, Neptune Beach, Craigfield, San Pablo, Bay Meadows under this warning now with that 60-mile-an-hour wind gust potential and inside hail possible as well. So again, watching the severe weather alert this afternoon. That's what we're on the air to keep you, your friends, and your family up to date on these type of situations. So let me go ahead and see what else we have here right now in terms of those camera shots. I know we've been going between them today. They've been really helpful telling that storyline, and we're going to try to do that again here now as we get further on up toward the north of where we were tracking the action earlier on here today. I know I'm just trying to get my bearings looking at this here as we're on live right now. We're tracking this as I kind of look at my mapping. I know we have US Highway 90 there under this new warning. Then we have areas here, looks like closer toward Terry Road under this. I'm just going to start trying to pull up some cameras here, see what we can get out of this to give you guys the very latest information, see what's happening there in toward the metro area. So right around Bay Meadows there is where they're saying this is. So let's see what we got. We got some torrential downpour, I-95 North University Boulevard. That was a moment ago. Already not quite as heavy there. So let's go up to the north. See what we got up there. You can see some darker clouds, so let's go ahead and pop this up here right now, kind of just showing the nature of things right now. So let's go ahead and go to the traffic system here, and we'll pop this up. This is a Florida 511 camera there, I-95, the Atlantic Boulevard on-ramp, just kind of seeing the dark skies here as these sour accent, or this area of showers and storms, I should say, this accent does kind of pass on by here. Some of these areas, you can see the darker clouds, though, as we're looking at the situation. So, again, that's the look right now, the Florida 511 perspective there from parts of Duval County. Again, this is I-95, Atlantic Boulevard, on-ramp, and this stuff's moving pretty quickly, so I want to go ahead and switch away, see if we have any other camera angles we can see you guys here as this situation does progress here. I want to see if there's anything else that might help us out in the circumstances. We're right near rush hour here with some nasty conditions. It looks like a real backup on the roads right now. I-95 North Emerson going southbound. So let's go ahead and pop this up now on the traffic system. You can really see the traffic slowing on down. The weather conditions probably playing a role. Maybe accidents there possibly as well because of the weather, even as a potential. So really seeing the slow roads there right now. I-95 North there. Emerson looking southbound is what it's telling me here. Well, we're looking north, but you kind of get the idea. This is I-95 North Emerson southbound, looking north, I guess you could say, but you get the idea here as we're tracking the situation, trying to give you guys an idea of what's going on here. Definitely seeing that backup. It seems like some of the worst has just crossed over in some of these areas here where we have some of these cameras over the last couple moments, but there's a lot of backups there on the road for sure. Kind of telling the story here that things pretty nasty, maybe causing accidents with that reduced visibility here in the region over the last little bit. So that's something to keep an eye on, obviously, here toward that area. I mean, we're not too far away here from some of these other communities in toward Jacksonville as well as we get down here It looks like Belfort Road. Maybe some stronger accent around there. We're not seeing the velocity as robust on some of this, but we kind of have to even look further off toward east, I think, at this point with some of these velocity values. So let's see here. It's not lining up as good. So maybe we're seeing some weakening. It seems like as this accent exited the coast there, we had some more stronger winds trying to show up again with it as it moved off of the Atlantic Beach area there. But let's see if we have some more METARs popping up here, getting any updates. You see how we had the one report 5758 earlier toward the Craigfield area. Don't have anything right in here necessarily showing right now anything too concerning. Now there's your temperatures from earlier. You've seen how they cooled down some, but still pretty warm conditions here overall in this setup. But again, some heavier rain here, blinding rain around Forest Boulevard South. Forest Boulevard here, Loy's Drive there, over toward it looks like Anson Drive. You kind of get the idea here. So again, we have this severe thunderstorm warning situation, 2 warnings right now. The 1 warning probably going to go away pretty soon because that accident kind of moved off. But the general wind pattern here in the history with these areas of wind enhancement has kind of lended itself to getting the wind down toward the surface. That's why they probably will keep this other warning going, even though it doesn't look quite as impressive in velocity. We still have some wind enhancement here, maybe closer toward the Town Center Parkway area, even I-295. So let's see what we have there. If we have some traffic cameras we can go to over there. Right now, I know in Jacksonville we have more cameras than in other parts of our region, as you would anticipate. So gonna see what we can find here. Maybe looking south at US 90 on 295. I'll see if I can pull something up there in that vicinity here over just the next few moments, trying to get my bearings here as we're live on the air with you guys in toward this region right now. Just trying to make sure I get you guys the best shots here. So we're looking again. So we have US 90 here, and then maybe just to the south would be a good shot. So let's see what we got here with some of these camera angles, because we always like to give you these visuals here in this scenario. We try to kind of give you guys the look outside with what's going on here, because we want to make sure you guys just to understand how the situation is here at the present time on that local level, to see exactly what's going on there in these regions. I know. Let's pop up one camera we got here. We're going to pop up this I-295 east there, south of Butler Boulevard. Let me go ahead and pop this up here right now. You can kind of see the rain on the camera lens there. This is kind of telling the weather story there right now. The severe thunderstorm warning in play. I know that gust there at 4:35, 4 miles southwest of Fort Caroline there. That's something that's pretty noteworthy, of course, as you see these nasty conditions. You see the backup on the road here, even the deteriorating conditions here, and during that rush hour commute with some severe thunderstorm warning action re-emerging again before we get that threat completely clearing out. We still had that risk remaining. We were talking about that earlier. We still had that remnant risk, and you can see how the traffic's really backing up there toward this area. So again, we're going to continue to watch this viewpoint here. I'll go ahead and move back over toward the Doppler radars. We have some other cameras to go to. Let's see if I can get you guys some other viewpoints here. It's been a very busy last 48 hours as we've tried to keep you up to date, of course. We really have some nasty angles here further up. Wow, let's go ahead and pop this up. Just really reduced visibility right now is the storyline up here. So let's go ahead and see that. You can see here, I mean, people really breaking on the interstate right now in this area. This is I-295. They're east south of Beach Boulevard, so you can really see how people being backed on up a little bit in that vicinity. So that's something to definitely take note of. You see some lightning in there as well, so definitely something to be mindful of here as we're looking closer toward the University of North Florida. Just trying to see what else we got here. Let's go up here, I-295 east at Alden Road there. Let's give you guys a perspective here at this moment. You can kind of see it's just a really nasty weather. I mean, there could even be some small hail in here. I'm not sure if we're really seeing that, but it could just be the way the camera is reading some of that rainfall. But you're continuing to watch this nasty situation. There's a small hail threat with this accident, so we're going to continue to watch. You see the trees moving here as well in toward this vicinity with this severe thunderstorm warning. I'll just go ahead and go back to the Doppler for now. Try to kind of figure out exactly where we want to go next with this in terms of our camera angles, because this is always important to do here as we look right now. Some of the stronger wind, and maybe right here on the edge, right where we have areas down toward the south, where we have that little circle there showing up. So let me see if I can get that up right now here on my other map. So let's pop this up. Let's go over here now. I was looking at these just a moment ago and didn't see a lot, but we have some nasty accent there. And actually, I think we did actually have one of these cameras up. It's just, we have a lot of different cameras to go between here, so I'm trying to give you guys the best viewpoints. You can definitely see some of the darker clouds here toward the top left of the screen. So let me go ahead and pop this on up right now. This is a dark look at things here right now. State Road 202 at Kernan Boulevard. You can kind of see the camera shaking a little bit there as, again, that rush hour commute being impeded here. It's being impeded. So let me go ahead and go back on over, continuing the coverage here, just trying to give you guys the best perspectives. Wow, this is really reduced visibility, folks. This is dangerous. Let's go over here toward this camera near UNF. We're going to go ahead and pop this one up now. You can see, I mean, those are traffic lights, folks. It looks like they're in this, and we're not really seeing much movement. So there's a backup there, reduced visibility, a dangerous situation right during rush hour toward Jacksonville here. Right near UNF there, that's right near, it looks like, the University of North Florida nature trails even. Really seeing that reduced visibility here. I-295 East at UNF, Town Center Parkway area. I'll go ahead and pop that up again, and I might leave it up even for a moment because this is really telling a weather story here on that live Florida 511 perspective. I mean, look at the traffic here, just not moving. You see that blinding downpour here, maybe some winds. You see the camera shaking some, so we do have some wind in here as well. You even see a school bus in here, at least one school bus in here, maybe two. So again, a situation here that's pretty nasty. The visibility is improving some, thankfully now, but still, look at that traffic mess with this severe weather during the evening commute in Jacksonville. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning is in play here. You can kind of see the visibility improving some, but still nasty evening commute here in toward Duval County with a severe thunderstorm warning in play, causing some backup, some accidents probably as well in toward this area. So let's go ahead and move back away from that. Again, the threat continuing around Jacksonville now. We're going to go ahead let me go ahead and take off our super there. We were looking at that Florida 511 technology a moment ago, but we're just trying to cut between some different things to give you guys the best visuals here of what's happening. They did go ahead and keep the other warning. I guess they just want to err on the side of caution here. Don't want anybody to let their guard down, since that one warning is going away in 2 minutes anyway, and the other is going to kind of encompass this whole massive accident getting closer toward Jacksonville Beach now over the next little bit. I mean, seeing some of the higher winds there as we get in tight near Lumberton Falls Drive, Sebastian Court now potentially as well in this area. So let's see if we have any other angles. Looks like we kind of start to run out of angles as we get further on off toward the east, but we do have one here. Let me go ahead and pop it up. This is going to be a shot there toward Kernan Boulevard. We'll kind of see the sky at least. Kind of give you guys a visual of how dark the sky is from some of these locations, kind of these distant locations here. You can see there that shot of the weather story is telling with these nasty storms here in the picture. So again, looking at that right now, giving you guys that perspective there from the Florida 511 camera network, trying to just show you these different shots live to give you guys not just that radar imagery, but give you that visual of the storms to see exactly what is going on here with this severe thunderstorm warning situation around Jacksonville. So again, checking more angles right now. Just slick roads here. Got to take it easy, obviously, with the nasty conditions around. Just trying to see what else we have here. Actually see some sun out toward areas there around the Dames Point Bridge, so that's interesting. Just kind of goes to show you how these storms have been kind of odd overall here in their genesis and in their overall coverage per se. But again, I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out. We have the one warning on the board till 5:15 now as we continue with the coverage. Again, as Been a very busy last couple of days. This multi-day event here wrapping on up. This should be about the last round of things here in our covered area finally, and then that weekend we'll be looking better here with the cool temperatures in play. But things will definitely be looking better here as we look ahead in toward the timeline, and that's definitely something to look forward to here as we're watching the severe thunderstorm warning situation in parts of Duval County. So again, that warning does continue for another 14 minutes. Of course, we'll have a full forecast later on this evening into tonight once we get that put together here. I know we're in this live coverage right now, though, because we need to protect you, your friends, and your family right during that rush hour commute there. Some of the strongest winds going up here closer toward Jacksonville Beach and Neptune Beach now. So again, you can kind of see here, this is right around San Pablo Drive North with some of the stronger wind, US Highway 90 there. You can kind of get the idea with what's going on in this area. Even seeing a little bit of correlation coefficient lowering there, but hopefully it's just an artifact or something like that within the Doppler radar algorithms. But again, severe thunderstorm warning in play till 5:15 here. We have strong wind in this area here. I'm moving toward the Jacksonville Beach, Neptune Beach area in just moments. You can kind of see how that's moving right on in. This is from about a minute or two ago, so it's probably right over Jacksonville Beach now. Let me go ahead and pull up. I'll go ahead and pull up the mouse, in fact. I will go ahead and pull up the mouse here to try to give you guys this perspective on what we're talking about. You see it right there, Pinewood Road. This is pretty much the live view within the last few seconds. As the radar sweeps around here, this is moving right toward areas there like 14th Avenue. You kind of get the idea right in there right now. Some winds to about 60 miles an hour, a possibility right there along A1A. So that's something to bear in mind here with the severe thunderstorm warning situation. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning is continuing for another 12, 13 minutes or so. You don't see much upscale growth on this right now, so hopefully this acts on me weekend off, and this will kind of get out of the picture, and we'll be able to enjoy the rest of the week and into the weekend with better weather conditions. This weather's just been really pesky here, folks. In fact, I'll go to the Florida view because we're not seeing even all that much here in the state. This is really the worst of it right here in our area. We don't have any other warnings in play, but we have the axis we're tracking this morning that pushing on down toward the south. But again, some straight line wind potential, not necessarily tornado potential, but some straight line wind potential here up toward the first coast as we're looking toward the early evening hours and our rush hour commute there. I know we'll go ahead and zoom up north now because there's actually, we're closer to that lower pressure, a tornado watch and a severe thunderstorm watch in play. The tornado watch in that yellow area that covered the 40Y zone, that goes there until about, it looks like as I click on it, at 9 o'clock tonight. And then as we get toward the south, it's a thunderstorm watch until 7 in that pinkish area closer to Myrtle Beach. But you see eastern North Carolina, even areas there in eastern Virginia, southeastern Virginia, under the tornado watch as well up in that vicinity. But here it's just more of this rogue accent trying to maybe finally move away. They're continuing this warning here. We just got an update on the polygon here at 5:15. At 5:02, a severe thunderstorm was located over San Pablo or near UNF, moving east at about 35 miles an hour. Neptune Beach and San Pablo here being affected with these potentially 60-mile-an-hour winds here in the vicinity. So that's something to keep in mind. Remember, there could be some hail damage to vehicles in some cases, but wind damage could also be a threat here as well. I know hail tracker not showing a whole bunch, maybe more actually a little bit earlier on in the timeline. We're not seeing much right now with this action here in eastern Duval County, but again, we'll go ahead and zoom on out here. We're not seeing too much behind, so hopefully this is it. Unless we get something refired later on. The models weren't really showing that. It was, the models are really trying to show this movement out of the southeastern counties earlier on in this, but we got some more reformation here because this environment, this situation, this pesky one here, to say the least. We did have that rain chance into the afternoon, but this kind of trying to hang around just for right around Duval County for a little bit longer before finally moves on out of the picture here. You can kind of see, again, not too much else going on otherwise, but we have this warning where we've had some issues here, some wind reports with the other warning, or excuse me, the other storm in toward areas closer to the north. And then we had the, that was a third storm, I guess you could call it at this point, because we have had two warnings, but we had a third storm that actually didn't have a warning. That we had a wind report to 66 at Mayport, and then we had another storm there closer toward Georgia with some hail as well, toward Camden County. We had plenty of storms this morning, though, that we were on for with tornado warnings in play. We were live during the middle of the night to keep your friends and your family safe and up to date on that potential on all the different platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. But again, let me go ahead and go back to our live radar mode. This is about to exit here the coast. As you can kind of see here what we're tracking, it seems as if the worst of this is starting to move offshore now, and that's definitely good news. So hopefully this warning will be out of the picture here, at least within the next 10 minutes when it's set to expire, but hopefully a little bit sooner than that. And as we see that start to exit out, I do want to kind of see you guys had forecast. Just give you a sneak peek. We don't have the 7-day put together yet, but I did put together the spring game forecast for Tallahassee there, FSU spring game on Saturday, and I think it gives you a good idea here of the weather that we're going to be seeing here toward the weekend. I mean, we're going to be talking about cool nights and even pretty cool days. I mean, nice though. I might need a jacket because it'll be a bit breezy out there for sure. Uncomfortably cool, I guess you could say, for some of you, just depending on what you like, but going to feel more like October here. Like an October actual regular season football game than it is a spring game, because generally the spring games are pretty warm here in toward Tallahassee and the Campbell Stadium area. So you see the worst moving off the coast now with this, but let's go ahead and go toward the graphics. I have that up in the system now. You can kind of see here 5 o'clock on the ACC network, mid-60s, mostly clear and breezy there. That's going to be the storyline. So that's how the weather's going to be looking for that game. For your Saturday. Nice weather, not having to worry about rain there. Getting a little cool though, but we're going to see if things warm up next week, and that'll be interesting to see in that forecast. And then ultimately, maybe a big severe weather event toward areas there on Texas and Oklahoma early next week. That'll be something to really watch for. But the worst of this is now moving off the coast, so I feel comfortable wrapping this on up now. The higher reflectivity is off the coast now. We're not seeing anything else really right now to concern ourselves with, so that's the good news. But thanks so much for tuning in and trusting me. I'm meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center. Just stay safe out there. That rush hour commute looked pretty nasty there and toward parts of Duval County with that storminess around there, all those traffic backups.